If you're a videographer or a video business owner and you've tried selling your videos to a client just for them to say, oh, I can't afford your services, or that's too much, or let me get back to you, let me think about it and see if I want to work with somebody else, you need to watch this video. Trust me, I was a videographer for 10 years without a sales framework, and I often let clients slip through my fingers and not hire me because I kept making the same mistake of not having a good sales process. A couple years ago, I invested in myself. I took a sales coaching program. I took an expensive sales coaching course. And since I've scaled my company from being a sole videographer into a video agency with 5 full-time video editor employees across the world, videographers working for me several days of the week here in Los Angeles, and having a great work-life balance, all while consistently getting clients to say yes when I pitch them on my services. So in this video, I'm going to break down the client journey that they need to go through for you to convert them from an interested lead into a sale. If you want to learn more about how to get more leads and get more people knowing about your business, check out the other videos on my page. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment below if you have any questions or you want to know more about anything when it comes to running a video business. Now back to this video. What even is a sales framework and a sales strategy, and how can it work for you as a videographer or a video business owner to successfully and continually get business owners to say yes to want to work with you? There's a few steps that go into it. One of it, of course, is having a great offer, which I talked about in my other videos. And that means just solving the problem that a client has rather than positioning yourself as someone who can just deliver pretty good looking video content. You need to look at what's underneath that content. For example, if somebody comes to you and they say, hey, we want to create an event video, you got to say, well, why do you want to create this event video? What are the strategic reasons behind creating this event video? What are the results you're hoping to get out of the event video? This is a really simplified version, but if they say, well, we're trying to raise $20,000 and we want to launch a Kickstarter campaign, you can say, okay, great. So we're going to need about 10% of the profit that you're going to make on that Kickstarter video to make the video. Okay, then you say, okay, great. Well, we're going to need about 20% of the profit that you're going to make from that video to be invested into this video. So you might want to actually set the bar to $25,000 because we're going to need some of that cash to make that video good enough so that you'll hit your mark. And by phrasing it that way, instead of saying, oh, well, you know, I charge $5,000, you're able to set the context from the very beginning and show that the video is results oriented and kind of change the framing of the pricing. Now, I'm not going to get too into the weeds here in terms of sales. There's a lot of great content out there. My favorite is Jeremy Miner. He has some great TikTok videos in terms of how to do really good sales objection handling, but a couple of quick tips I will throw here to you now. From the beginning of conversating with these clients, you have to position yourself as an expert and not as a commodity. So you don't want to talk about the product that you're delivering to them. You want to talk about the guarantee of the problem that you're going to fix for them. So again, if the problem is not having enough leads or sales or not getting enough views on social media, you want to go after that and frame your delivery as being a successful campaign rather than talking about all the deliverables that you're going to give to them and how it's going to sound great and look beautiful and how it's going to look great on your website. You want to say this is going to attract new clients and new revenue to your business. So the framing up front is really, really important. Next is the sales process. So usually I will do a discovery call with my clients, and in that discovery call, I will kind of dig deep and ask some really good framing questions so I can handle their objections later when they come up. So I'll say, well, what kind of business are you doing now? What business do you hope to be doing after we create this video? How is this video going to help you with your business? You know, you get the gist of it. It's all of these like leading questions to get them to start thinking about how the video content is going to help them in their business achieve their goals. The next big thing is tonality of your voice. In this video, I'm very excited. I'm very passionate because I'm talking about something that I absolutely love. But in a sales call, I'd be a little bit more laid back. So if a client said to me, hey, Jason, we'd love to hire you, but the prices are just, it's too high. I'd say, oh yeah, they definitely are too high. You got to agree with them at first. But you know, that's usually what our clients pay us to get the results that we can get for them. And actually from the investment that they give to us, they do end up making that money back using the great ads that we produce. But I agree, it is a large investment. So again, I'm not pushing back. I'm not saying, oh, no, don't worry. It's cheap, it's good. Or I'm saying, oh, I'm going to lower our prices for you. It's like you're laid back, you're calm, cool, you're collected, and you're simply agreeing with them and then saying why you are charging what you're worth. And there's a lot of great tips and tricks out there. Again, check out Jeremy Miner and his tips on how to do this. I'm not going to get super deep into it in this video. Another quick example is a lot of people will say after the sales call, oh, let me think about that, right? That's a common objection. Again, underneath all these objections, there are underlying reasons why they don't want to work with you to create the video content, which is promising them great results. If they say they need to think about it, you can say, oh yeah, that's no problem. I guess let's maybe circle back in a couple of weeks when you have more time. Let's find a time on our calendar. I guess while we're kind of pushing back this call, maybe you could just tell me in the meantime, what are some things I can just go over for myself, like that you need to think about, just so I can maybe be prepared for our next call. And then they might actually give you the real objection, which is, well, I just need to think about if it's worth it for the money. And then, okay, so it's the money thing. So then in my head, I go, okay, so if they're not willing to invest so that maybe they're scared that the thing's not going to work for them, and then it's too much cash. Then you can say something like, and then you get the real objection, right? Which is, well, I guess the thing that I need to think about is just if I can really afford it. Like right now, times are tight. I don't know if I have the cash. Okay. So they know that the thing is going to work for them. They know the video is going to increase their business. They're just not sure if they have the capital, if they have the funding right now. So the next thing to say in that moment is, oh, okay. So I guess maybe we can get creative on a way for you to find the funding so that you can scale your company like you wanted to. Like, is there a way we could help you with that? And then what they'll usually say is, oh yeah, there is a way. And then from there, you're just kind of re-engaging them. And again, they were about to hop off the call and push you back to next week, but you're never gonna hear from them again. By reframing and by trying to pull up the objection beneath the objection, you're able to really dive deep and see what their actual problem is, and then you can kind of counter it back. And this is a really interesting game. And this is a really interesting psychological game. Again, I don't want to get too deep into it. I'm not a sales coach, sales master myself. I'm still learning the process, but the whole thing is it's not as simple and straightforward as calling them up, saying, here is the project, here is the prices, will you want to work with me? You have to have a thoughtful strategy and process. And at the end of that you have to have a really thoughtful process. So earlier I talked about the discovery call. After you gain all that information and knowledge for them on the discovery call, then you do the sales call. Then you actually tell them how you're going to fix their problem. So the discovery call is an analysis. It's like you go to the doctor and they say, well, let me check out and see what's wrong with you. Oh, XYZ isn't doing as well. Oh, you're having issues with this. Oh, your knee's bothering you. Oh, okay. And then you figure out what their problems are, and then you can say, well, here's how we're going to fix the problem with your knee. It's going to cost you X amount of money. And if you just came up to them and said, hey, I think you might have a knee problem, I can fix that. A, you're guessing, you don't actually know what their problem is. And B, they haven't come to that conclusion themselves. So if you can help them come to the conclusion themselves and then say how you can fix that problem for them, they're going to view you as an expert in your field, and you're going to be way more likely to close that deal. Again, this has been a high-level overview of sales system process for video business owners. I've used the system myself to close $10,000 video gigs consistently over the past couple of years. And if you're looking for a great coach or program out there, I'd highly recommend working with Master Filmmaker. Those are the guys that help me out with my process. And if you like this video and you want to learn more about how to grow your video business or check out more tips. So if you like this video and you want to learn more about how to grow your video business and other tips that I have, make sure to subscribe to this video, like it, and comment below if you have any specific questions for me that I can go over for you.